Hello, welcome back. I wish that I could say it was for better circumstances, but unfortunately, some of the information that you had given me last time that we met and I was asking you questions, at the time it was just an interview. You were telling me what you saw. You were the only witness to this crime. And unfortunately, some of the information that you have given me, it's not checking out, okay? I'm just gonna cut straight to it. It's not checking out and it's not looking good. So, I have some cross data to kind of throw at you and see what your explanation is for that. But first, I do want to go ahead and read you your Miranda rights. Now, are you able to read and write? Yes? Okay. So here we go. Here are your Miranda rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions. You have the right to have a lawyer with you during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed to you before questioning if you wish. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop answering questions at any time. Do you understand the rights that I have just read to you? Okay. With these rights in mind, do you wish to continue speaking with me? Okay, perfect. Can you go ahead and sign right there on the bottom? That is letting us know that you were read your rights and that you wish to speak. Okay, so now what else I'm going to do is pull up some information here. Take that from you. Thank you. So, going back to our last interview, couple things. You stated that you were driving home from the store. You left the store approximately at 8:15, right? You went to Walmart buying some breakfast foods, I remember you saying. Okay. So, you leave Walmart and you're driving home. About 10 minutes later, that puts you right smack dab in the front of our crime scene, right? That's what you said. The only thing is, well, I had to go to Walmart to investigate, make sure that your time frame was adding up. It's just part of protocol. It's what we have to do. And unfortunately, you were not caught on surveillance camera at all at Walmart on this morning. However, you were caught 3 days prior to that, not just once, but twice at 2 different Walmarts buying not breakfast foods, but some things that are rather questionable, such as vinyl gloves. 1, 2, 3 packs of vinyl gloves. And what is this? 15 feet of rope. And now you did do a pretty good job at trying to destroy this receipt, but yes, we did find that in the public trash. Do you know that whenever you discard any trash and it goes out onto the curb, that then becomes public property and anyone can take anything they wish from it? Well, we found this. So you have, like I said, the vinyl gloves, 2 packs of those, and some rope. Wonder if it's a coincidence that our victim in this robbery was tied up with rope, 15 feet of rope. Just a coincidence then? Okay. So what did you use the rope for? Alright, and is that currently up in your yard? Actively, right now. It is. Okay. I will have someone investigate that, but if that is the use of it, fine. For a swing. What kind of swing? Is it a metal one? Is it a wicker one? Is it wooden? It's like a wicker. 2-person swing? Okay. So, can you explain to me the 2 packs of vinyl gloves? Okay. So, strictly for cooking and cleaning. You wear those gloves all the time for cooking. Why? Okay. I'm not saying you don't. That's a valid reason. I know many chefs who wear gloves to keep their hands from getting dirty. So is it safe to say that if we were to go through your home with a search warrant, that we would find gloves in the kitchen, possibly in the trash? It's pretty often that you use them, right? So we should see them pretty easily, huh? Okay. Does anyone else in the home use gloves, or is it just you? They do as well? Specifically for cleaning, that's it? Alright. Okay. My next question for you is, you said that at 8:25, approximately, you heard screaming and saw 3 suspects wearing all black, approximately 6 feet tall, running out of the house. Yes? And that's what you remember, right? That is the statement that you had given me. So my question is, why do we have another receipt? Only this time we have 3 black long sleeve shirts, 3 black pairs of sweatpants, and 2 black pairs of shoes from Walmart. Again, 3 days prior to this incident. And your total for this was on a $70.40 charge to your card. And what's your height? 6'1", huh? Interesting. And what were you doing buying those clothes? That's just the color you like to wear. So, is it normal for you to go to the store and buy multiple pieces of clothing, same color, same size, just normally? You just do that every time you go to the store? You say, hey, you know what, I do like that shirt, I'm gonna get 3 of them. I do like those all black sweatpants, I'm gonna get 3 of them. And you know what, I need 2 pairs of the same shoes. That's normal for you? Oh, it is. Okay. Well, then let me ask you this. If that's normal for you, would you be able to provide me receipts and or other form of proof of purchase that you regularly do such a thing? Maybe you went to TJ Maxx, or maybe you went to another clothing store and you've purchased multiples of the same outfit over and over again. You think you can provide proof of that? Alright. I'm going to make you a list of some things that I need you to do then. And that's going to be one of them. Provide proof of ordered purchase, same clothing, multiple X. Okay, so that's the first thing you're gonna do then. I would like to see 4 to 5 receipts of you doing this, okay? So if you have to go to the store and ask them to get the receipt manually from the register, or if I have to, we're gonna need proof that this is something you regularly do and not just a one-off occurrence that happens to match the details that you've given me about this crime scene. Okay? Alright, next. Let me see here. Give me a second. Alright. My next question. You said that you heard a woman saying help, yelling help, when you were inside your vehicle driving, right? And the reason you heard that is because your window doesn't go up all the way. That's correct, right? And what year, make, and model is the car that you were in that day? Does it have any issues? When's the last time that you took it to the mechanical shop? Pretty regularly, huh? So that's kind of eating into your pockets. That's pretty expensive to be taking your car all the time to the shop. Plus, your window doesn't go up, like mentioned. Did you get that fixed? Okay. Well, this is going to lead me into my next question. I will get there in just a second. What do you do for work? So is that like a 9 to 5? Do you work day shifts? Do you pick your own times that you work? Is that part-time or full-time? Okay. So, my question is this. You said when we ended our last interview that you saw a Facebook post, right? And you said that it entailed something about an estate sale. Is that correct? Okay. And do you remember who was the person that posted about that? It was shared. And wasn't it directly shared to you, to your Messenger account, by a friend named Christine? Okay. So, my question is, why was she sending you the exact information about that estate sale? Doesn't look like you had any prior messages back and forth between the two of you on Messenger, but she pops up sending you this address. And doesn't it happen to be a block away from where you live? Big estate sale, and you know what else they have? 2 collectible cars. Vintage, expensive, runs perfectly. Well, didn't I see somewhere on your Facebook? You like cars, don't you? Specifically vintage cars. And so my question is, with how much you love collectible cars, and I did take a peek in your garage, of course from the outside, your walls are plastered with images of cars and vintage items and such. However, you don't seem to have a physical manifestation of these things, such as a collectible car or any other vintage items. Is there a reason? Most people who kind of eat, breathe, sleep, and dream that lifestyle and those items usually have something. They usually have a car, they usually have something vintage, and they love to show it off. But you don't have any of that. So I'm wondering, what's the reason? Is it because you've never been able to have enough money to purchase that? And I don't mean that in a bad way, not talking down on you. I know you have a job, I know you work for a living. But these collectible cars are not cheap, and they cost hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. Isn't that right? Is that why you've never bought one? Okay. Just never had an opportunity, never saw anyone close that was selling one. Okay. Well, you do know people travel around the entire world to get these cars sometimes, from East Coast to West Coast and beyond the oceans to find these collectible cars. And our victim of the robbery, like I mentioned, has 2 cars. And do you know what the value of those cars are total? And how would you know that? Okay. Well, you are right. The value of those 2 cars combined is $1.2 million. So, that leads me to believe this could be some type of inside job with you and your friend Christine. She's next to be interviewed, don't worry. And you thought that you could rob the house for the estate sale, take everything valuable that you could find, right? But not before you wear your vinyl gloves. Make sure there's no fingerprints around the place. Maybe you had one more friend in on it. Maybe Christine has a boyfriend, husband, brother, 2 friends. It was the 3 of you who did this. Am I onto something here? No, absolutely not. Okay. Well, I will tell you one thing about evidence is factual and doesn't lie, doesn't have an agenda, doesn't have one side or the other. It's just evidence. So, as we continue going through this, it's likely, very likely, that more evidence is going to begin piling up. And evidence paints a very clear picture most of the time. Alright, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it is my job to start narrowing down people and seeing what motives might be present. Okay, so my next question is, there were goods stolen from the house, and that added up to approximately $320,000 worth of jewelry, merchandise, collectible items, antiques, etc., etc., etc. You get the point. And I noticed 2 days after the robbery, you had a deposit in your account, right? Cash. You had a cash deposit of $52,000. Wow, that's a lot of money. Where'd you get that? Come on now. Really? Let me stop you there. You do know that you are speaking to a detective, number 1, okay? I'm very good at finding all the little lies and the strings that don't come together. They're split. They're not adding up, okay? And the problem is, if you're telling me that this was a loan payback from a friend, you do know I will go find that person, right? And find out everything about this transaction. People aren't just depositing $52,000 into their account cash without really any trace back to themselves or any trace back to a loan or anything else like you're mentioning. It's just like the money appeared. So, maybe you knew somebody that was stealing the items from this house. Maybe you stole something. You went to the pawn shop, didn't you? You went to a few pawn shops. There's about 28 to 30 pawn shops in this area. Don't think I won't go to every single one of them with photos of the missing items, descriptions, weights, sizes, and find out, has this item been pawned? Oh, it has been? Let me get the ID of the person that pawned that. Do you see what I'm saying here? Yeah. So, there's no point in lying to me. You can lie if you want, but you're just going to dig yourself a deeper and deeper and deeper grave. So, are you sure you got that as a loan payback from a friend? The $52,000? Is there more of the loan that you're owed? It was a $100,000 loan? And then, okay. $100,000 loan that you gave to who? What's the name? And what was the date of this loan that you provided to them? This is a long-time friend. It was back in 2018. And where did you get that $100,000 from? It was an inheritance. Who passed away? Oh, your mom? Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. Okay. What I'm going to have to do is pull the inheritance records and see if that money was supplied to you. What was the total amount that you had received from that? And that was in 2018 as well, earlier in the year. Okay. Do you have a phone number for this friend, Morgan? Alright, I will be reaching out. Guess we have a couple of interviews to conduct. If that checks out and that's all fine, great. But, like I said, there are some other skeptical things here that are really making me question whether you are telling the truth. And this is just kind of we're at the wrong place at the wrong time. But I'm still not really sure why you would say that you were going to Walmart that morning to get breakfast foods, which put you right in front of the scene, and you weren't even at Walmart. Do you think you were somewhere else and mixed it up? You forgot that you were actually at a different store? Okay. Well, I'll check. I will look into that. And then, that's fine. Have you ever been connected to any other aggravated assaults, burglaries, robberies? Doesn't look like you have when we checked your record, and you have a pretty clean record, huh? Have you ever been in a fight? You have been? What provoked that? Okay. Just some questions, that's all. When was that? So, quite some years ago. Alright, well, look. What I need from you is we will get a search warrant for your house. That's just what it is, okay? And likely that will be executed later today. There better not be any evidence of throwing stuff away, cleaning stuff up, hiding stuff. We will find it, okay? Don't even try it. Don't try it. It's just sick to even try. So, what I want from you is by later today, tomorrow, I'll give you 2 days because I know you gotta do some running around to obtain this, but I want those 4 receipts, proof of purchase, that you have bought multiples of the same article of clothing multiple times. Same size, color, everything. You got that? Are you gonna be able to obtain that? Okay. Well, again, if you're not involved, my apologies. It's my job to figure out who is and who's not, and sometimes I gotta play the bad cop. But I know more than you think. I've been doing this job quite a while, and I've seen the slipperiest, slimiest people try to get away with stuff, so that's all. Okay, I'm submitting this as well. Your friend Christine, she lives in the area? Where about? Let me look at my map. Another coincidence that we have a close neighbor living by this scene. Well, you live 1 block to the front, and it looks like she lives 1, 2, 3 blocks, about 3.5 blocks behind and slightly to the right. You've been watching this house? That's how you knew they had the collector cars in the garage, or what? Somebody's been watching this house. Well, we will ask Christine. Trust me, you may think that everybody who works together in a tight little knot is sealed, lip sealed, nobody's gonna squeal, nobody's gonna say anything, but you'll be rather surprised when you're facing life in prison and somebody cracks and gets that plea deal, okay? So, don't think that your friends are in it to help you, or that they're just gonna stay tight-lipped, because when they realize what they're facing, people start talking, okay? Jail's not for everybody. Prison's not. Certainly not for everybody. So, if there's anything else that you can think of, maybe you forgot, or maybe this is why you ended up there, or this person coerced you to do such and such, it's time to start talking. I'm not going to call you a snitch or a rat. I know nobody wants to be called that, but you got to start thinking about yourself here, because we have, thankfully nobody was injured too terribly in this and nobody lost their life, but we have a victim who's traumatized for the rest of their life because of the actions of these people. Again, you're looking a little bit suspicious. I'm gotta say, I was just thinking that you were the person, the witness, who saw this, but now I'm wondering if you actually are a person of interest, possibly a suspect, possibly the main suspect. No? Okay, well, we're gonna need to prove that. And the first step of proving that is showing that you have purchased multiple things multiple times, like the clothing and search warrant of your house. We gotta see what's going on with these gloves, the swing in the yard. If all this stuff checks out, fine. Maybe you were just an innocent bystander, wrong person, wrong time. But some things you lied about, and some things aren't looking right. So that makes my job harder, and now it's time for me to investigate further, talk to this Morgan person that you know, talk to Christine, figure out if they played a part in this, and go from there. So for now, you are free to go, but don't think for one single second that if you are guilty and you did have involvement in this, that you won't be shackled up real quick. You'll have these on your arms, your legs, you'll be tied all to you, you'll be miserable, and you'll be confined to 4 walls for a very long time. Especially on a premeditated crime such as this that looked very thought out, however still went wrong, so it must not be too smart of criminals. Maybe someone who doesn't have a record. That's the kind of job that this looks like. Somebody who does not have the criminal mindset, who does not know how to cover things up and execute these crimes in a hidden manner. Thank God. Because those types of people, we don't want them on the streets anyway. So this definitely looks like a job that might have been done by a non-criminal, someone with no experience, no prior convictions. That's you, huh? Sounds like you. Yeah? Yeah. Well, we'll see. Put these cuffs down for now, but like I said, don't think I won't put them right on you as soon as we arrest you for this crime. Alright, well, if you think that you weren't involved and you swear by it, fine. We'll prove you're innocent and your innocence, like I said. But until then, I guess this is goodbye, and hopefully next time I see you, it's not with you wearing these bad boys. Okay? Alright, you have a good day, be safe. Okay? Call me if you think of anything else.